From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of ParksCenter. My name's Ben, and joining me on tonight's show, we have Tyler.
Oh, hi, I'm first.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm definitely unmuted. Thank you for having me.
We got Rob.
Sivako?
Rob, you're a dog now?
Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Nathan, was it you?
No, it wasn't me. And
Sorry,
Kungaloosh, everybody.
mine.
Ashley.
Hi, everybody. Sorry.
You just couldn't wait till last. I know.
Oh.
Welcome. Let's go ahead and kick off tonight's show with a bit of a discussion on the Food and Wine Festival, which just opened up, Thursday of last week? So just after last week's show. You folks can check out our website for the PDF guide to the Food and Wine Festival, which contains all the booths, reviews of content, what everybody's menus. Highly recommend you check this out. You can even print it out and check off what you've had and what your thoughts are as you're going along. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool if you haven't seen this before. I believe, Nathan, you actually have been at this point, and I think you're the only one on the panel who has.
Yeah, and
it's
food and wine. It's good. The changes this year, of course, the Appleseed Orchard, sort of like the big one, right? So that's the one that is, for those who are not in the know, that's one in the O Canada Pavilion. I should say the O Canada Theater at the Canada Pavilion. And you would think, oh, how are they going to make it look pretty? Like it's sort of like a weird space, a Circle Vision theater. Actually, it works. They hang some lights and some ribbon, and it kind of comes up to the center. So it's sort of because it's such a big building and they do it so well, it sort of feels like a round barn vibe inside the thing. It's some really pretty decor around that area too, and it was a good addition. I think it's really, really interesting and really fun. They can't do it every year, but they got really smart. So if you know those handrails, everyone was asking, well, what about the lean rails? Are they going to take them out? What are they going to do? No, they made them tables. So the lean rails are hollow in the middle, if you remember. And all they did was make a nice little table to fill in the middle section. You can see underneath his hand in that photo right there. And it works brilliantly. So it's this really small bar. And I looked underneath because I was curious, is it permanent or what? How they do it? And no, it's just they just drilled it in. They just made it and painted it nicely and drilled it into the bottom, so it's just kind of held in there. But it really, really works. So I think that's sort of the big difference this year in food and wine, which is not I don't know. For me, that was the big impact. I had some good stuff. One of my favorites, the Bayo bun. Teriyaki Bayo bun in the Japan Pavilion, if I remember correctly. Did a lot of food. That was really, really good. And then...
Is it Bayo or Bao?
You know what? I don't know. Is it Bao?
I thought it was Bao, but I'm not sure.
I'm just a simple white boy. I don't know all things. So the other thing that I really liked was in Hawaii. They have a Spam... hash at Hawaii, and that is so good, and it makes my heart happy, and I'm going to get it several more times because it's definitely worth it. But it's a good food and wine so far. From all extents and purposes, Italy still is terrible.
That's the hash, not Italy.
Yeah. Just the Italy, not the country, but the booth itself is terrible. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my experience with food and wine, and I have several more trips to go, I'm sure. So I'll probably have more to say later on.
Did you try the frozen apple pie?
I didn't try the frozen apple pie. We got there a little late. I'm excited to try it. I hear it's very good.
I had it last year.
Did you really?
Yeah, actually, it was really, really good. I was thoroughly shocked at how good that was. I would recommend it. The little pieces of apple pie really make it. The first time that I got it, they ran out of apple pie bits, and they just were like, here's a slushie, and I'm like, eh. We came back later, got it with the pie bits, and wow.
Where did they have it last year?
Last year it was inside the festival center.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So a lot of
Just
that
kind of
has
shoved
been,
in there.
Yeah, I think it's now part of O Canada, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all Apple stuff is there. So that, yeah, no, I'm excited for that. That seems weirdly enough to be the hot item or one of the hot items this year. I know it's been around, but people were talking about it, and I think it's because of its placement. I think because it's in this new area, people are started going, "Oh, I really like this thing," and they're talking more about it. So yeah, a little food and wine. I'm sure we'll have more to say. Hopefully, you guys will get down here and check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're interested in checking out our guide, that is wdwnt.wine. Yes, really, that's an actual URL, and it does work. You can get over there and have a look at all of our food and wine content in one easily accessible form. Highly recommend it. And you can also find it, again, a link to our PDF over there. So check that out. Moving from there over to, I guess this is a Disneyland parade, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to this for so many reasons, not the least of which is the fact that we've now got a couple new characters revealed via a Disney audition for this parade. If we scroll down here, the list of characters that are going to be in this that we're looking for Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Cinderella, Fairy Godmother, Princess Tiana, Prince Naveen, Merlin, Arthur, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Blue Fairy, Aladdin. Now, hang on. Does that mean Aladdin's a face character?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hype.
Yeah.
Aladdin's already a face character.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
He's always been.
Oh, wait, no.
Aladdin's
My brain just rounded that off to Genie for some bizarre reason. No, I want Genie as a face
Arthur?
character. Forget this.
Maybe it's because Blue Fairy
Genie
was
being a face-
over Aladdin.
That's why, yeah.
There you
That's
go.
why.
Oh, Blue Fairy and
Okay.
Genie fighting would be fun.
Oh, Lordy.
Ben, do you want to be Arthur in this parade? Have you already auditioned?
I have not. I feel like I could.
Aw.
That would be amazing.
But
If you're
that
not
is
that
that is distinctly the
Halloween.
wrong coast for me.
Well, maybe next time. Maybe magic will also happen on the East Coast someday.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Maybe they'll have
One
a
would
black
hope.
cauldron float, and then you
Ooh.
can be Terran because you look more like him.
And
I
everyone
haven't
will go, "What's that?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are those?
What's that?
And sadly, I think
Is that one
some
of
people are
ours?
going to say the same about like Arthur and Merlin. I don't think that's right. I think
Well,
No,
weirdly,
we got
I think the
Sorcerers
whole
of Magic Kingdom. No, but they don't have
my
that.
point
No, hold
is
on.
my point.
Oh, right.
Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom is where most kids, I think, know Merlin now more than the movie, unless people know the movie. But sadly, that's over at Disneyland. I am very pleased with these characters being on there. I mean, when you start with Anna and Elsa, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But just having any sort of retro characters at this point is like a dream come true. So no, I like this band of characters. There's some good ones in here, and it seems like a range.
It really does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm still not impressed with the name of the parade. I think it's kind of lazy.
Yeah, it
But
is.
Everything else about it looks amazing. And I'm so excited that they're not just doing the standard popular It characters and then Mickey
Oh,
update like they do. Oh,
sorry.
did I
Can you say
freeze?
that again? Your
Oh.
minor technical
Sorry.
difficulties. Say that one more time.
Just that I'm excited that some of the older characters are getting some love, kind of
Oh,
like Nathan.
for sure.
That they're not just going to do princesses, Mickey and Minnie, call it a day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but at
They
the same
could
time,
have
it's really,
copped out.
cool. It's really cool that they have Moana and Coco in there too. I mean, you're talking about ones that don't have representation. I agree with you, Ashley. I love the idea of the old school characters in there, but the fact that they're mixing them up is great. When we saw these floats at D23, I was so excited about the whole thing and really excited about this parade and hope to be able to go and see it at some point. But I know that you and a lot of other people have not been excited about the name. I mean, they're naming a lot of things. They can't come up with a brilliant one for all of them. And in 10 years, we'll be going, oh my gosh, why would they name it this? Magic Happens is such a cool name. Why would they
Just
name it that? That's
lazy.
amazing.
You've got
Oh, okay.
Festival of Fantasy, Sensational, and then Magic Happens.
And harmonious. And
Like,
what
yeah,
else do you hate?
Mouse
Harmony
could dance
us. Emphasis on the us.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. That one's silly, but I feel like they at least tried.
Yeah.
Magic Happens is just lazy.
The thing that
But
kills
you
me
know
is that I'm
what?
sure naming this stuff is somebody's job. Like that's
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have like a whole team of people.
And the characters and the music are all great. I don't really care what it's named at the end of the day, so long as the important parts are done correctly.
Well,
But-
speaking of not caring about what things are named, Batu East, because I don't
Sure.
know what else to like. I mean, how else are you supposed to differentiate
Hey,
these? But
before you get into that, can we talk about Batu East and West? Because I think I saw it was like Josh had posted on his Twitter account.
yeah, go
I'm,
for it
like,
real
tired
quick.
of
Yeah.
people saying-
Yeah.
Tired of people saying Batu East and Batu West. What else are you gonna call? I mean, you're gonna go to
Thank
the
you.
trouble
Yeah,
to
they
go the Hollywood Studios version of Batu or the Disneyland version of Batu. I feel like it's a natural progression to call it that, and I didn't know that I was awful until I saw it on Twitter, and he told me, which is true.
Well,
of
that's
Twitter in
the
general,
general
right now.
rule of thumb. Yeah,
Right,
you don't know you're
exactly.
terrible until Twitter tells you. So it's fine.
I think
Right.
Yeah, I think the weird thing is we don't go Tomorrowland East. We don't go Frontierland East.
That's fair.
And
Yeah.
I think that's where people are sort of like, well, it's just part of the
I would-
overall. The thing is it is a specific area. It's a specific place opposed
Well,
to like a
it's-
Frontierland. So I get
It's
it.
not even that. It's that they're carbon copies. It's
That's
not.
exactly what I was going to
There's
use.
the
Carbon.
Yeah.
difference. I mean, our Frontierland and our Adventure Tomorrow. There are differences to differentiate the two. These are carbon
Mm-hmm.
copies on either coast, and I think that's why people need some way to differentiate the two.
Well,
Well,
I
I know
mean,
that was off topic,
you're right about it being almost carbon copies, but like there are a few differences. Like one of the ones that we've highlighted on this show before is the fact that we've got cast that are like actually in like stage, like they're hired for stage performances doing Savis. And we've got in my opinion, terrible transition from the land over to Toy Story Land that they don't have in California.
We'll call it the one with
There
the
are
good
slight
transitions and the
differences,
one
but
with the
it's-
bad transitions instead of the two.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
But-
all right, that'll make it.
But at
Okay,
the end
we're
of the
good.
day, you've got essentially the same land. It's built and laid out almost in the exact same fashion. Like, yeah, there are slight differences, but again, there's not individual special experiences at either that you can only do on either coast.
True.
Right. True.
Are we gonna call
Mm-hmm.
the one that goes to Paris like Diet Batu since it's only like one attraction? Like they're not even building the full Galaxy's Edge that's here.
I believe we're
right?
calling
they said it's gonna
Disneyland
have a major attraction.
at Disneyland
Are-
Paris. It's called Betia.
Oh right, the accent.
Betia.
Tarjay. Oh, Ben is gone.
Betia.
Good night.
I killed Ben.
Oh gosh.
Am I the only one
Back to
that's
your original
been to
topic.
Batu East? Yes.
I haven't been to either.
Oh no,
just
Ben
yet,
has.
so-
Ben went.
Haven't been
because
Ben's
he
been
went
to
to
Batu East.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was AP previews, but I've been there.
I was there opening day, and the crowds were crazy. I did 3.5 hours for
Yeah.
Smugglers because you got to do it once, and it was really great. I love it. I've been there 3 times now because hurricanes come and hurricanes go, and I didn't see anything of it, but the crowds were gone, so we
Yeah.
were able to enjoy lots of it and do Ogas a couple times, and because of that, it's an interesting experience because I do feel like I got a little bit of an AP preview vibe because it didn't nobody there like the last
Yeah.
couple days. So
It's good you bring that up. Like, I think that like attendance in the land has definitely been down since it opened, and I'm really curious how much of that is really just because of the hurricane, or if we're going to end up having this look essentially like what happened in Disneyland, where this opened and then the crowds just never really materialized for it.
I don't
Hey,
think
let me-
people are
let
going
me
to call
tell
it.
you- I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
Ron.
I think that this one is going to stay full, and I think that it's just the hurricane that is causing the problem right now. And I'll tell you one thing that gives me a sign of that is that when we're there for Reflections of Forever, I was planning on building a droid where the one in Disneyland you don't need a reservation. The one in Florida, you do need a reservation to be able to do the droids. And so I went to look at reservations the other day, and there were a few days taken up, and I thought, no big deal. All the days are booked for Savis. All the days are booked for the droids. Well through October. So I think that we're about to see what a full like Star Wars land looks like after this hurricane goes.
Well, I would say a full Star Wars land is not terrible. Weirdly enough, there's enough space that it wasn't awful. I would say that the one thing that is not going to happen. You say there's all these reservations, but I have a pretty big feeling that that's not a metric we should always use, because you're going to have people that have been there for 3-4 days, unlike Disneyland, and they're just popping in for Savvy's. They're just popping into Detroit Depot, and then they're back to going to their hotel room and going to the pool or whatever. That will, of course, affect some attendance, some population, but that Oga's, those things being full, if they're full but nobody else is like just taking in the land, it still could feel pretty sparse, even if they are getting that stuff figured out. I think it's all kind of, I think Chapek's very happy he has a reason and something to blame, and that's the finger of God coming down and doing work. But at the same time, I don't think it really matters, because December is around the corner, Rise is around the corner. That place is going to be nuts come Christmas, and as parks always are. And I don't think we don't have the same ability to sort of gauge things like we did with Disneyland, and being like, well, no one's showing up and it's generally locals, and why aren't they showing up or whatever. Like, this place is always full of people. So I think that they'll find a metric like Savvy's reservations that they like, and they'll go with that, even if the land itself is sort of sparse with people.
Well, Chris, here's another thing, though, that's a difference. It's when you're at Disneyland, you actually have other things that are awesome to do around Disneyland, and I think that we are in Hollywood Studios right now of other things to do. So I think that if they're committing for the day to come there for Savvy's, or they're committing to come for, for a reservation to make a droid, I think they're going to stay around and do really the only thing there is to do, which is to be in Star Wars Land, because it's either that or Toy Story Land or ride Tower of Terror. There's really not much else left. So,
or get your picture taken by a robot.
Oh,
hey! We did it. So you can, over in Star Wars Launch Bay, go get your picture taken by a machine. Look at that droid. It looks great.
Not BB-8. So
no.
Bad.
Continuing the theme of tonight. I've done this too.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So if you read the article, if you see here, like, you go up to the box, and this is Darth Vader, and he says, like, take the photo or whatever, take the scan, and he says, yes, Lord Vader, and then the camera just does its thing, and then you scan right here at these when you exit. So
that's kind of cool.
Photographer. Yeah, but that
neat.
screen is worthless because they don't show you the photo or anything. You don't know if you're going to get it. So we got it. We got him. We got it. Here's what's interesting. I got my passes for this one. We met Darth Vader and we met BB-8, and here we are.
I love that crew.
Everybody looks so happy.
Oh my God, this shot.
Hence the other photo. Yeah.
There's Tom, hard at work.
Nathan, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Are these the only pictures? It's just these wide frames, and it just snaps
it
when they said, let's take it.
Tom made a really interesting point. It might have been Peter Tom. They said, well, it doesn't matter anymore because people are going to crop it in the way they want it anyway. And I think that's a very interesting and valid point. But it's not an angle thing. Here's the thing. If you do this with Chewbacca, you're not going to get the hug photo. Like, you're just not.
Yeah.
You're not going to get those
photos.
Things. Right, and maybe this works for some stationary characters like BB-8, and they weren't using it for that's what's so stupid. Yeah. They weren't using it for BB-8. Like they had a photographer in there, and that thing doesn't move at all. And Darth Vader's like walking around and doing stuff, but he's staying sort of in his box like he normally does, but specifically because he's got to get in the photo. So I don't. Yeah, you just lose. There's a little bit of magic lost when you see the photos. But my main point I wanted to make too is I got my BB-8 photos before I got my Darth Vader ones. So for some reason, this system that it doesn't have any people a part of it takes longer to get to my phone than the ones that had the people a part of it. And I don't know if I'm just
because it has to integrate with it. It may be because it's somehow they're using some sort of different. It has to integrate into the system as well.
Yeah.
That's a terrible excuse.
I agree.
If you're going to take away the human and only let robots do it
every day, though.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah.
Hey, so
it's a terrible idea. Well, sorry. I asked one quick question because it looks like there was still. So is the guy that you see in the attraction? or not in the attraction, but in there, the cast member, is he a character attendant or is he somehow helping operate this machine?
I think he's
Now
just a
there's one
character.
person. There's one person, and they sort of say like, "Ah, man, this is hard for me to remember." It was a very quick moment, as you know. I think he sort of said like, "Wait here," and then like Darth Vader sort of signaled us in, and we went and started Darth Vader, and then he signaled that the photos were supposed to happen. So he must press a button on the photo booth thing to take the photos.
If they have
I don't know.
a person
Sounds
there
like it.
pushing the button, why can't we have a photo pass person?
The
Yeah.
difference being, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong because it's hard for me to remember, but instead of having two people in that room, a cameraman and a person to shuffle people around, there's one person to shuffle people around. So,
And they
but I don't know
probably
how you
charge
save
less
money
than a
because you've got to.
photographer.
Yeah, but you still have to
That's
install
sick.
that stupid thing. So I don't know. It's
And
we made
what
a point.
happens if it breaks? It's not taking pictures.
Yeah, it just
Well,
goes down.
You'll never know. Well, then hopefully they'll get someone. That's what I don't know what the safety guards on it are. Like I don't know if they know. I don't know if the person
Right, like,
there
if a
has an
camera
indication
goes-
that it went through. I don't know.
Yeah, if the DSLR goes down, the photopass person knows instantly and has
Right.
extra equipment to fix it.
Mhm.
But if you're relying on an automated system and you can't, to Nathan's point, you can't see the pictures popping up on that screen, how would you know if it goes down, especially if it takes so long to upload them to the system?
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like we it's interesting that this is coming in now because I feel like Galaxy's Edge has all these moments where you sort of can have personal photos and these interesting moments.
Yeah.
And they feel a little more intimate. And the opposite of that is these sort of weird photo booth meet and greets. So I'd like to think that these are going out
Channel
more than they're
weird.
coming in.
I hope so.
So it just, you sort of feel like a cog, and you just get chucked in and you get a photo and you get chucked out. And now that there's no one that's giving you any personable angles for those photos, it's even worse.
Or magical moment photos. How are you going to do those?
Yeah, that's a
There's no
really
more
You have to
magical
hold like
There's just no-
Tinkerbell and
Not in here.
Yeah. You're right though.
not in there. But if plan is to roll them out into, how are you going? A person can capture those special moments. That's the purpose of PhotoPass people.
Yep.
I just picture like Push the trash can with like a camera on top of him,
Oh,
like just
God.
like
Oh,
Now
snapping
that
pictures
would be
randomly.
fine.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so precious.
That-
Oh,
That would be
Like
alright.
just replace
like having
all the
Push-
photographers.
Push,
So
I miss
I
basically
would
you.
be alright with
Gonk
that.
Yeah.
If if we could
Moving
have Push
on.
back in all
Yeah,
of
we-
his glory.
We've
Speaking
gone
of
way over.
garbage,
Talking about Star Wars even more tonight because apparently, like that's the show now. This is Star Wars cast. It's very
That's
cool.
Disney right now.
So we've got the Rise of Skywalker coming to Star Tours at Disneyland Paris and also eventually to Disneyland and Hollywood Studios. But France looks like it's getting it first, which is a little surprising for me. And also, I guess this just kind of makes sense. But I'm happy to see that they're still like putting the effort into Star Tours, and they're putting effort into making sure that these things stay up to date with the film series. I'm looking forward to this.
You know what though? I think it's an easy thing to do, so I'm kind of always upset that they don't do it more.
That's fair.
Like I didn't like that there wasn't one for Solo or for Rogue One. I feel like there should have been because it would have been easy to do, especially for Solo because of the whole like you're flying thing. But also Toy Story. Like, why aren't there Toy Story Midway Mania? Like, why isn't there more updates to those? Like when Toy Story 4 came out. Because it's all
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying that they need to put it in Star Tours because it represents Batuu, where you can see Toy Story from.
Okay,
Oh.
calm down about the exit. Okay, the exit's gonna be fine, Ben. They're gonna figure that out.
No,
Calm
it's
down
not.
about that. Shh.
those
I'm
trees
just
They're
will
gonna
saying,
grow.
plant
though,
some. They're gonna plant some
when-
trees. It'll be fine. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
when you have screens, though, it should be easy enough to put stuff like this in, especially because they're already in production. How hard is it to do one scene while you've already got the actors and the set and everything ready to do one scene for the attraction? So I'm excited that this is there. It gives me another reason to go back to Star Tours because I do like Star Tours. It's just, when they add new stuff to it, I get excited about it and want to go back. So I can't wait to see this, but I just am disappointed that they don't do it more often than they do.
Yes.
And maybe the reason it's going to France first is because they were the last ones to get the how did you say it, Nathan?
A bit here.
Okay, cool. All right.
A bit here. Yeah.
Pitié à la mode.
You know what? So when you go to Galaxy's Edge right now and you've got to pass at Hollywood Studios, you got to pass that. It's sort of like you stop dating somebody and then like there's like you're dating this like hunky guy and or girl and like not a hunky girl but like a sexy girl and like you pass them in the hallway and you're like, oh, and like my boyfriend's now over there. I gotta do this thing, and they're like, it's okay, no, it's not a problem, it's fine. That's sort of my experience now with passing Star Tours at Hollywood Studios. It's like, I'm sorry, my new girlfriend's over there, and it's
That's all
and
cold, Nathan.
It's true though. Like that ride's in 10 minutes, like all the time now, because no one cares about traveling everywhere in a thing. Like they can go to a land, so they're all there, and that means that they need something for people, a reason for people to do Star Tours, because frankly, I predict already this is the last update to Star Tours. I predict that Star Tours is going to see its way out at some point. It doesn't make any sense that there's a Tatooine area in the middle of Grand Avenue and then Batu's across a tunnel. Like it just doesn't work. So, yeah, enjoy it while you can. Enjoy your ex-boyfriend.
Oh, I
Wow.
will. I'll enjoy it all the way. I'm in.
Oh
Me
my
too.
gosh. Well,
Always.
speaking of your ex, the space attraction before this one.
Oh, that was
Yep.
labored, but bravo.
Yeah, I mean, y'all
My
tee
middle
these
school
labored ones up
girlfriend.
for me. So, Mission Space Race used to be a lot bigger. There used to be a lot more terminals, and half of them used to be broke. Now they all work for now, and there are only 4 of them.
This game is so much fun. I don't know.
It
if
really
anyone-
is. Like, not
so
many people have played
walk
this.
past it.
Yes.
Also, nobody knows that if they don't want to go on Mission Space, that there's this whole other post-show area. Like nobody knows that those exist because they're like around the corner. You have to like go on the attraction first to even get there. Like it's on a map, but how often do you see them like advertising for these kind of areas? They don't,
Yeah.
and that's why nobody goes to it.
Yeah.
And then when people exit, they're like, "What? Is that a thing? Oh, whatever. I just want to go over here. Soarin' fast pass by." Like nobody really cares, and it's disappointing.
Do they still have that
but it's
photo
so much
booth
fun.
where you can send an email to yourself with like a GIF
I think
or
so.
like a GIF of being on
Yeah.
Mission Space? So that's the thing with this place
Really?
is it's like ancient. Like
Yeah.
so much of the stuff that there's super ancient. The only reason they're doing anything to this is because Guardians is going to open at some point, and people are going to go, "I need a place to go and do a thing because I have to wait 9 hours or whatever." So like they need to take care of that side of the land, and it's like
Guess so.
it's the only ride there besides Test Track, and you can't really do anything with Test Track right now. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
get
don't
them
you
sort
think
of doing
some of-
maintenance.
Some of some of that, to build on what you just said, could be the space restaurant, because they'll have a lot of people who are right there. They can send them around.
That's,
to-
yeah.
That's a
Play in
really
the
good.
space.
Yeah.
But the problem with my
Seating
own
area.
thesis is why do you cut half the terminals if you're worried
Yeah.
about crowds? Like I don't know. It's sort of a catch-22. Like
They
More
needed
why
setting
update
parts for
something if you're not
Train
gonna?
Yeah. They need to.
But didn't they say they cut it for like more seating area too? I mean, not
Yeah,
not-
there
not
is-
wide,
there is more
but
seating
there
area
is
here
more
now.
seating area.
It's
Yeah,
also
I just
much
did
better
handle
traffic
thing
flow.
there.
Like you actually
Yeah.
can walk out now. It's not around
Yeah.
an awkward bottleneck corner.
It was pretty bottlenecked back there too. So
Yeah.
I get it.
So that makes sense. I just missed this attraction back in its heyday because you used to be able to when the ride first opened, you could go play this online and you could take control over one of the little hands and move pieces into the ships like from your computer at home and play along live with people in the park, and it was really neat. Like I did that
are we
back
sure
when it
that's
opened. It was
gone?
cool. What?
Are we sure that's gone? I feel like
It might
it's gotta
still be
like
there.
hanging
I haven't
out
looked.
with Kim Possible online somewhere.
Yeah.
'cause all that.
I'm
stuff
almost
is-
happy there's no one there, just because like no one's there, and you could just do 1v1 at the 2 terminals, and that's so much
Oh.
more fun.
Oh, I haven't tried that. Oh, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, Thomas
Oh,
and I did
man.
it. We just like each of us took a different ship, and then we had to operate all 4 things by ourselves.
Oh,
And
that
then the
sounds
one
like such a
person
mess.
running it was like feeding us the orbs and everything. It was fun.
That's
Oh
awesome.
wow.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's show, folks. Thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. If you are interested in checking out any of the wonderful things in Walt Disney World, be it a shrunk but working Mission Space Post Show, the Wonderful World of Batuu, or the Food and Wine Festival at Batuu East, yes. Or even Batuu, if you want to be... yeah, there we go. I would highly recommend you check out Never Grow Up Vacations, the official travel sponsor of WDWNT. They are an authorized Disney vacation planner whose focus is in making magic for their clients, and with over 20 years of experience booking Disney vacations, we're sure they can help you make your next trip even more magical. So head on over to wdwnt.travel to contact them about your next trip today. With that out of the way, let's see. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, that would be Thursday night, we have WDW News Tonight recording live. Highly recommend you check that out over at youtube.com/WDWNT or at the WDWN Tunes. While you're there, over at YouTube, highly recommend you subscribe to us and ring that bell to get notified every time we go live, be it for this show, News Tonight, or a host of other reasons we've gone live. We've done some live streaming from the parks recently, and it's pretty fun. So check that out if you haven't. If you're not watching this show live, we do stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So check us out there. And also, if you are not watching this live and would like an audio-only version of the show, just listen to in your car, what have you, just search for ParksCenter. That's Parks with an S, Center. Wherever fine podcasts are sold, that's all one word smashed together. Thank you, folks, for coming. We normally do have a post show here as well, but unfortunately not tonight. We normally hang out with all of our WIGS members, which is the term we use to refer to our patrons. Head on over to patreon.com/WDWNT. For as little as $2 a month, you can get access to our post shows, which we usually have, the post shows for News Tonight, and a whole host of other benefits over there. So if you haven't done that, I highly recommend you check that out. All right, that is going to do it for tonight's show, folks. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all next week.
Good night.
Bye.